which is live, the Super Bowl edition. Go Philly! I'm choosing sides here. Go Philly! We're going to only go for a half hour tonight. Not many people are going to be on, so we'll go for about a half hour, maybe a little bit over. But I want to give everybody the chance to get their chart requests in, and we'll go over the futures action, talk about a couple of the headlines, and let's get to it. The futures market is open. Let me share my screen. And we have a really, really volatile open here. Let's go to the big chart. I just want to get a feel for. I always like to check the 10-year yield, the dollar, the VIX, and up top here, the S&P 500. So what I mean by a volatile open is that they gapped the S&Ps higher, and now we're flashing an outside reversal bar. This is not the chart I wanted. I want the ES futures. There you go. That's what we want. Okay, so these are the E-minis. We gapped up and nearly broke out and above this upper band of resistance on 15-minute time frame, and we have now reversed and we're trading lower. Now, let's keep in mind this is Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be light volume, so just let's not get all too excited here. Let's take a look at how the NASDAQ is behaving. Actually, I have the Russell in front of me. Let's go with the Russell first. Same deal here. Initially a gap up, then a bearish reversal bar. Now, the NASDAQ should be interesting. You had the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500, which closed up on Friday, yet the NASDAQ 100 closed down on the session. And you could see that what we have here is, again, a pretty nasty reversal. Let's clean all this off. And we're probably coming down here to 12,300 on the MNQ futures. Those are the NASDAQ 100 futures. There's a rejection, and we remain in a downtrend on a hourly and a 4-hour time frame on the NASDAQ 100, which bodes well for us because we're short. We're short of the triple Qs. We booked some profits on the triple Q short last week, but we remain short of Tesla. We have an options trade that expired on Friday. We sold the premiums. Those expired worthless. That's what we wanted. That was good for us. That's 100% profit. And with for whatever reason, the charts keep moving tonight. So that's not me. I'm not doing that. What we're seeing here is a potential bear flag setup, 4-hour time frame. We're going to watch this closely tonight. So it looks as though the NASDAQ may break lower here into tomorrow. This is not a good setup. This is a bear flag setup. Back to the 15-minute view. Yeah, we're at the session lows now. Now we're down 0.25% on the NASDAQ and dropping now down a little bit more than 0.25%. Looks like we're going to tap these support levels here. Let's see whether or not we get a reversal off of them. Do they get defended or do they fail? And that's going to matter a lot, especially this more thickened dashed line here. That's that 4-hour lower band of support. Now, looking at the dollar, the dollar is down relative to Friday's close, but it is up on the new session. A little bit of a bear flag setup there. Excuse me, bull flag setup, bull flag setup. RSI, higher lows. So it looks as though the dollar is going to start the week off with a little bit of strength. Let's take a peek at competing currencies. The euro, it's showing is flat right now. It's actually a reversal bar, a bearish engulfing bar, 15-minute time frame. This is not looking good. It didn't look good on a weekly chart, and it doesn't look good on a 15-minute chart either. I think this breaks. Looking at the yen is weak. Flirting with a breakdown, 15-minute time frame. It did break out, or I had a breakout on Friday, but now that breakout is under some pressure. So we have the dollar that's strong. So we have to concern ourselves a little bit about what's going on in the gold market. The price of gold is about flat at the open here. Not bad when you consider you have a stronger US dollar. Taking a look at silver. Where are you at? There you go. Silver is weak, down over a third of a percentage point, and putting in lower highs and lower lows. So what we did early last week, last Tuesday, is we lightened up on our gold mining stocks. We lightened up on silver. We're still long of gold physical. Didn't sell that. We still have some gold mining plays on, but we lightened up a bit. We went to cash, and I think that was a wise move to make. The dollar had broken out. We were aware of it. We know the inverse relationship. So we said, you know what? Let's take some money off the table here and move to cash. And it was the right thing to do. Emerging markets also took it on the chin last week. Whether it was ex-China, with China, emerging markets did not do well. Why? Stronger U.S. dollar. Simple as that. Let's take a look at energy prices. We'll begin with natural gas. Natural gas had a pretty good week last week. And in fact, what I want to point out on a weekly chart is that we, in fact, broke out last week. And it looks as though they're going to try to pump it higher. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a pullback and a retest of 191 on nat gas, but I wouldn't be surprised, given the volatility of natural gas, for it just to pump up higher here. So natural gas looking pretty good. We are long of it. We are underwater on it, to be honest, but we're going to hold strong with natural gas at current. Taking a look at oil prices. Keep in mind, we have CPI coming out this week. We'll go over the economic data in a moment. Where's my oil? Oil is down just shy of a third of a percentage point, but had broken out of a 4-hour downtrend, and it appears as though it's going to probably move up higher in the coming days. So oil, I would have to give the bullish sign to. It broke out. In fact, you take a look at oil on a weekly time frame, a major outside reversal bar, also known as a bullish engulfing candlestick. If you're not familiar with what that is, I have a 5-part video tutorial linked below. Sign up. It's a 5-part video tutorial, free, on my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. So I put that out there so that just in case you're new and you don't understand the nomenclature, it's there for you. So take advantage of it. So beautiful breakout last week on oil. And I think that we're going to get resolved here to the upside. Maybe we'll pull back, retest, support, but ultimately we're going to probably press up higher. Moving on to agriculture. Now, agriculture, corn, this is getting ready to rip. This is a beautiful setup here. This is going to get resolved to the upside. Soybeans, again, another commodity that wants to rip up higher. Very strong consolidation. Bullish key reversal bar last week. That's another one of my top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. Link below, 5-part video tutorial. Cheap plugs. Wheat, another one, bullish key reversal bar last week. And it looks as though all of these want to go higher. So I mentioned CPI earlier. You know, the CPI that's going to be reported this week is going to reflect energy prices, which have come in considerably, especially natural gas, oil prices, which have been stable, food prices, which have come in. Now, what we need to start thinking about is that, you know, this market has had a heck of a run. Tesla's up over 100% on the year so far. So even if we get a benign CPI data, what happens to this market if oil and food start to creep up higher and traders start calculating in a February or March CPI report that is not going to be favorable for a dovish Federal Reserve? So something to think about. And we want to take a look at yields in the VIX to see how they're behaving at current. And the 10-year is up a couple of ticks. This is a very strong chart. We had a breakout the week of the 6th. Last week, a continuation breakout. And as for the VIX, I want to bring up the VIX for a moment. There's a lot of enthusiasm out there in the market. And I'm going to show you a chart now where you really want to start thinking about what we did. You know, we built shorts and we booked some profits on those shorts, but we're going to look to rebuild them again. But when you take a look at the VIX on a weekly time frame, where is it? Here it is. Here's the VIX weekly time frame. While we were down on Friday because the S&P 500 rallied back, the VIX tanked. On the week, though, we had a big breakout on the week last week. So be very, very careful. Remember, the VIX generally trades inversely of the S&P 500. So if we're getting a breakout on the VIX, that does not bode well for the S&P 500. So please be careful. All right, that's my doom and gloom. Let's go to say hello to people. Pete, hello, Mr. Pete. How are you, sir? Whoever is here has a priority straight. right, you are. Jeff. Denny, exactly, Jeff. But just for 30 minutes, yeah. I'm lucky to have this many people here on Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm not going to press my luck. Evening, Paul, hello. Sam, hello. The lovely Jody, welcome. Tom Lou, hey Bob, Mike Berry and Jim Rickards call imminent crash. So SQQQ, we started buying SQQQ last week. We sold our put options on the Qs. We had a nice profit there. We made them real, and then we began to build on the SQQQ before that Friday route. So we're up on that trade at current. We booked profits on the Q short. I believe it was on Friday. I believe it was. But we're still short of Tesla. The lovely Trish. Welcome, Trish. Yeah, Jeff, yeah, the DBA should be looking good. For those not familiar, the DBA is an agriculture ETF, and we just went over a bunch of ag names. They're all looking very, very good. So if you're looking for a consolidated way to play agriculture in general, DBA is the way to play it. Talent, show some love. Tap the yes, please smash the like button, please. I would appreciate it very, very much. Lean hogs also strong. Okay, yeah, protein strong. Good evening, Bob from Texas. ABVE. We'll take a look at that for you, Corey. If I don't remember, you know what? Let me write it down. Writing down is usually a good thing for me to do. My memory is not the best. It's been that way all my life. So it's not an age thing. It's a Bob thing. Jody, QQQs from Monday. I'm not loving it. I'm not feeling the Qs. We may get a bounce here, but I'm adopting a wait and see approach. I mean, I'm not that bearish where I stayed short over the weekend of the put options. I stayed long of the SQQQ, but I only have a small position there to be really open and honest about it. We're not aggressively short the market. We do have a fairly sizable short on Tesla though. Yeah, IRBT. Thanks for saying that, Pete. I was unaware of IRBT earnings. That's one of our top 5 stocks for the new trading week. Are they reporting pre-market or after hours? Do you know that? Oral Win. Good evening. Great information. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Tim, it looks like AGNC is heading down. Do you have a hard or soft support for it? We'll take a look. Okay. You're welcome, Jody. After. Okay, good. So I can put a trade on that one. All right. Because that's got a really oversold RSI. So that's one. Let's really take a quick peek at that. So iRobot, for those not familiar, here's a daily chart. We've been looking at it as a long for a couple of weeks now. And if you want a more in-depth analysis, I did a video, best stock charts for the next new trading week. iRobot is the second week in a row it's been on that video. It's posted on YouTube and on my website, thecontrariantrader.com. We closed out the session on Friday with RSI 14.91. Now, we're not at historical support yet, but we're close. So I want to know what the market maker anticipated move here. That's a pretty reasonable move. We're going to be trading iRobot. I normally wouldn't trade a small cap like this on earnings, but I think that this is one where I'm going to trade this one. So members, stay tuned. We'll be sending out trade alerts when I send out that alert. We'll probably be somewhat bullish on it. I mean, the markets are pretty bearish on it right now, but it's so oversold that, you know what, I'm thinking about more of maybe a ratio strangle on iRobot, more puts to sell than calls to sell. So members, more to come. We'll do a little bit more of an analysis on that. IV percentile, very expensive options. So clearly we want to be sellers of the options. We don't want to be buyers of the options, at least not the front month or the next couple of months out. They're too expensive due to earnings. So members, more to come on this trade. Okay, so we're going into the week with more what appears to be shenanigans, chicanery, whatever you want to call it, more hot air balloons, whatever you want to call it. They're shooting down objects over Alaska, over Lake Huron, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, listen, do yourself a favor. They've already known about this for quite a while. Lockheed Martin was up 4.74% last week. It was only a few days ago where this stock had broken down. Had broken down to new lower lows, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, buyers come in and they start bidding up Lockheed Martin. This broken down chart is now soaring. Why? Who knew what when? So I tweeted this out over the weekend. Buy LMT until your fingers turn bloody, because in all probability, this is going to be a setup for the next grift. This is a monthly chart, and they'll try to demand defense spending. We're going to have aliens. We're going to have Chinese. We need more defense spending. Buy Lockheed Martin. That's the play here. That's all I'm going to talk about. Folks, we're going to be, this is brought to you tonight by TrendSpider Automated Technical Analysis. Create, test, and refine trading strategies, find and analyze trading opportunities, and time trades and capture profits. 35% discount code below. And also, if you're not a member of our 30-minute chart club, it's booming. A lot of people signing up. I'm doing this because you'll note that if you're watching this on the replay, there is no monetization. YouTube demonetized one of my videos. Therefore, for the next 30-odd days, I demonetize all my videos in protest. So at some point in time, they'll probably get ticked off at me because I am bashing the government for doing more shenanigans. They'll probably demonetize or they can't demonetize this video, but they'll try to get some sort of retribution. And I'm collecting email ads just so if I get axed, I can reach out to you and let you know I'm either on Rumble, Twitter, wherever. I'm simulcasting on Twitter now anyway. So 30-minute chart club. And this is where we review highly liquid and common stocks, NASDAQ 100 names that you may not be able to afford if you have a small account, but you could trade options on it. I go through certain strategies and 30-minute charts that are looking really, really good on highly liquid stocks. Obviously, these change day to day. And we meet a few times a week and there's engagement, but this is a private session. And you need to be on our email list to get an invitation and engage. The reason why we do that, besides the YouTube thing, is that we want serious traders. I don't care if you're experienced, inexperienced. We just want serious traders and no spamming. I could get these sex robots that spam this live stream sometimes. So sign up. There is a link below, so take advantage of it. Also, before we get going here, my best stocks to trade this coming week on YouTube or on the website. And of course, our last 30-minute chart club is on YouTube as well. So we got a lot of good likes on that. Now, moving on to economic data coming out this week. I already mentioned CPI coming out this week. Now, it's expected to be hot on a relative basis, meaning over the past several years, we've been at 2% CPI. We're at 6.2% CPI. So if we get a weak number, expect the markets to rally. If we get a hot number, expect the markets to roll over. Simple as that. Retail sales on Wednesday. Empire State Manufacturing Survey. We get every Thursday, we get initial jobless claims, producer price index. That's the measure of inflation at the producer level. Very, very important number. We're also going to get building permits. This is a forward-looking indicator because building permits imply that they plan on breaking ground on new properties. They don't have to, but it's a good forward-looking indicator. Friday, leading economic indicators. That's a Fed series of gauges. And right now we have negative numbers that are out at current, implying that we have recession on the horizon, if not already here. Equity valuations, 29.71. We're a little bit cheaper than where we were last Sunday, but still very expensive on a historical basis where the mean is at 17. Now, this is a trailing PE. We don't use a forward-looking PE because I don't trust them. Yield curve. We're going into the new trading week with the yield curve, 2s versus 10s at the most inverted. We've already talked about this, but I haven't had a graph going back to the 1980s, and this even doesn't go that far. But most inverted since 1981. Basically, it's the bond market saying, whoa, there's something very, very wrong with this economy. And you don't need to worry about equities all that much from breaking down until the yield curve in blue begins to steepen. And that's when you worry about the yield curve and the stock market. Now, what did this yield curve do last week? Guess what? It began to steepen. 1 week does not make a trend. When are we going to start to worry about a steepening yield curve? When we break out of this weekly downtrend channel. Normally, I show you the monthly downtrend channel. I'm going to a weekly right now because we're going to be watching very, very carefully for an early stage breakout on the yield curve, because when we do, we're going to be nibbling more and more aggressively to the short side of this market, primarily technology and consumer discretionary names. We'll short the indexes, and that's our game plan. Sticking to it. Earnings this coming week. Well, we spoke about iRobot, and that's going to be reported after hours, as Pete stated, on Monday. We will be a part of that. What else will we trade? We'll probably trade Airbnb. What else? A lot of mid-cap stocks here this week. I don't like trading mid-cap stock. Maybe Shopify, maybe Twilio. You have AMAT coming out on Thursday afternoon. That's a maybe. That's a probably. And not much else on the week. Earnings season, by and large, is for the most part over. You're going to have some. You're going to have. What is it? I just had a brain. You know what? Nvidia coming out soon. That's in the next few weeks. Okay, let's do some chart requests, and I'll let everybody get to their event. Pay attention to SCPH. We'll get Is that Humvee? Is that Humvee? Let's bring that up. Now you got me curious. SCPH. Oh, this is real pretty. It's a pharma company. We like it. We like it. We'll come back to the daily chart because that's the setup. Even the weekly chart's the setup. I mean, this is really, really, really nice. All right, so let's talk about this. And by the way, for those folks that already have TrendSpider, they just added on here. Finally, I was haunting them on this. Quarterly and yearly charts. Bam. Love it. I'm such a chart nerd. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I want to take a look at a monthly chart first. Yeah, this is nice, man. There's nothing not to like here. I mean, higher lows. We've broken out of a monthly triangle formation. You know, while last week was a down week, all down weeks are not made equal. We did rally off the lows of the week. I want to know when we put in a new weekly higher high here. Keep this active for a while. Breakout. We're good. Daily view. Yeah. So we're in a very tight formation here. I think you could nibble on this, to be honest with you. I think it's breaking out, and I would be looking to add more on a breakout above that weekly resistance level. So SCPH, it goes without saying, it's a pharma name. It's high risk, as all stocks are, but pharma names are particularly high risk. So just be careful. Yeah, Jody, Boyle is looking good. All you need to really do is just take a look at Nat Gas, and Nat Gas broke out on the week. We went over the chart earlier. Weekly breakout. We may get a pullback and a retest, or we could just shoot up. You know, it's Nat Gas. It's so volatile, but it's looking good. Weekly breakout. Looks like that downtrend may have finally come to an end. So SCPH looking very, very good into the new trading week. Tom, Amazon already owns iRobot. Okay. All right. ABEV. The game has already started, I guess. ABEV. ABEV. Embev. Oh, this is the European beverage company. It's a buy. It's a buy. Let's get the heat maps off. We don't need that. This is the value of the automated trend lines. I haven't looked at this chart in years. I don't think I have. But automated trend lines, maybe I have because this is a drawing. What is this line here? Anyway, we have weekly support, which we bounced off of. That's the AI going to work for you. And on a daily time frame, again, I'm going to take the automated trend lines off. We bounced off the lower band of the fractal trend lines, this downtrend channel. This is a buy all day long. And then when I apply the automated trend lines, watch for the line in blue. Pop. We held support on Friday. This is a buy. I like Ambev. Ambev looking good into the new trading week. I think I just got spanked in public. It's not Ambev, the European company. It's a Brazilian company. Okay, I stand corrected. Thank you for that. AGNC. I don't see a compelling reason to go buying here. It looks like it's just taking a rest. We bounced off of this VWAP. If you're looking to buy it on spec, you could buy it here. I would just use a stop loss on a new weekly lower low. I would wait to see how the first half of the day pans out on Monday. Do we put in a new lower low? If not, if we hold Friday's lows, we have an inside day. That's when I would look to open up or initiate a trade. I wouldn't short it. If I were to buy it, I would follow that game plan I just laid out. Ag stocks getting ready. FMC, DE. Yeah, dear. Yep. All right, folks. Go enjoy the game. Smash, like. Don't forget, TrendSpider below, 35% discount code. Don't forget about the 30-minute chart club. Use the link below. Get invited. And everybody, enjoy the game. Have an awesome night and a profitable trading week. Be well.